Hi, how are you doing? Today we are talking about the 10 movies that I watched in a month of January. So not a whole lot, but I did like most of what I watched this month. So I'm excited to talk to you about them all. There's also quite a few rewatches in here, so be aware of that. But let's just get started with the first movie that I watched this year, this month. It's Pricilla, which came out in 2023, which I gave out of 5 stars to. I really liked this movie. I thought just like visually it was stunning, and it was like more of like a quiet movie but still very engaging and interesting, and I genuinely really enjoyed my time watching it. It's just that for being a Priscilla Presley biopic, I knew the exact same at the end of this movie about her that I did at the beginning, which is that she's Elvis Presley's wife, and that's it. I feel like just for being about Priscilla, it wasn't really about Priscilla, if that makes sense. Then and next I rewatched Guardians of the Galaxy, which came out in 2014, and I gave it 5 stars too. I decided to rewatch this because I still hadn't seen the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie, so I wanted to get to that, but I wanted to rewatch the first two because the Guardians franchise is like one of my favorites within the MCU, and the first Guardians movie is one of my favorite MCU movies. Obviously, like, it's brilliant, and rewatching it definitely still held up. I thought it was great. It's really funny. It also has some great heart to it. It's visually stunning. The music is amazing. And of course, it's peak found family. Like, honestly, if you love a found family movie, like, this is it. Then next I watched Vergeet, the musical, which came out in 2023, and I gave 5 stars too. This is a pro shot of Vergeet, which is a Flemish feel-good musical, which is a jukebox musical with the music of Cultura, who is a living legend. It was so much fun. Like, I honestly was surprised by how much fun I had while watching this, because I am not the biggest Cultura fan. Like, I know his songs because duh, but I like never really got on my way to listen to them, or like I've never really been into them, so and I don't know, I wasn't expecting to have this much fun watching it, and I did. It was just a really fun story. I think the music was incorporated in it really well, and it worked really well. Also had amazing heart to it. Like, there were some moments in here that made me cry, and I definitely wasn't expecting that. Then next I rewatched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which came out in 2017, and I gave 5 stars to this. Upon my first watch I also gave 5 stars, but upon rewatch I ended up ducking a star. Like, I already, over the time that it has been since I watched it for the first time, have kind of lessened my love for it a little bit. I don't know what it was when I first watched this, but like, I was obsessed, and I like over time it kind of like went down. I already knew that I was gonna like this less probably than first time around, but I still really enjoyed it. It's just that the Ego storyline, I'm not the biggest fan of. I'm not the biggest fan of Ego. I don't think he's that interesting of a villain or like an antagonist, and just everything surrounding him was very much the least interesting part of the movie. But like, all the rest were still great. Again, great fun family, visually really stunning, the music incorporated in it was amazing, and it's funny. It's a fun time still to watch. Like, I definitely still recommend it. Then next I watched Naughty Prudes Must Die, which came out in 2023, and I gave 5 stars too. I really got into Star Kid over the pandemic, and then I also did like a video ranking the musicals back then that were out, but I kind of fell off with like all of like the Night My Time videos that they were doing. Just, I don't know, it's a lot to keep track of at the beginning, and so I have been very much anticipating Naughty Prudes Must Die, but I just have been putting off watching it a little bit because I am not caught up with the Night My Time. But this was in my YouTube recommended the other day, and I was like, fuck it, and I just watched it, and I'm so glad I did, because this was a great musical. I had a really fun time watching it. It's not like my favorite. It did take me a little bit to get into, but I did end up really liking it. The next thing I watched is The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals, which came out in 2018, and I gave 5 stars to, and was on a rewatch. This is just, I think this is my favorite Star Kid musical. I love it, and rewatching it just kind of solidified it for me. Like, I completely forgot how much I love it, and just like how iconic it is to me. Like, honestly, there's so many iconic moments within this. I also rewatched Black Friday, which came out in 2020, and I gave 2 to 5 stars to. This, upon my first watch, already wasn't one of my favorites, and I thought maybe rewatching it I would like it more, but I don't. It's not bad. I still have fun watching it. I do think it has its strong moments, and the songs in it are phenomenal. It's just that there is just something about this story that just isn't as gripping to me as the other Hatchetfield installments. Then I also finally watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which came out in 2023, and I give 3 out of 5 stars to a lot of tweets. This one I just wasn't a big fan of, which was kind of a disappointment because I heard so many amazing things on this movie. I do think because the whole purpose of this movie is, one, giving Rocket's backstory, and two, wrapping up this group of Guardians. This is the final movie we're seeing with this grouping of the Guardians. And I do think those two things it did successfully. But I just think when it came to everything else in this movie, which is quite a lot, I was just really bored and I just was not interested. I did not care. Then next I watched Gelato, which came in 2022, and I give 1 of 5 stars too. And don't ask me why I watched this, because every review I've seen of this has been god awful. And I knew that, and I have been very hesitant going watching this movie until now, but I loved the book when I read that like years ago, so I was very intrigued to watch this adaptation. This was god awful. This movie, just like in its entirety, was weirdly misogynistic that I definitely don't remember being a presence in the book, so I hope all of that was fabricated and I just wasn't a stupid teen. I definitely was a stupid teen, but like this movie definitely made me question my taste. Because I love the book so much. But like, to be fair, from a lot of reviews I've seen, they did say that this was a horrible adaptation of the book and the book was barely recognizable within this movie. But still, I'm questioning everything. And then already the last movie that I watched this month is Theater Camp, which came out in 2023, and I give 4 out of 5 stars too. It is one of the releases that I heard a lot of great things about, so I wanted to watch it, and I wanted to try and get around to it before the end of the year, but that didn't work out, so I made it a priority in January, and I really liked it. I do feel like there was something missing for me, which kept it from being like a 5-star movie I fully loved, but it was a really enjoyable watch and I definitely recommend it. It's very funny, it has great heart to it, I like the characters, and it kind of shot a documentary style way, which I thought was really fun. That is everything that I have for you today. Let me know in the comments what you thought of these movies if you saw them, as well as some of the movies you watched in January, and I guess I'll see you guys next time. Good.
Here I am again, the same old situation. Why does the God thing have to be so complicated? Should've played it cool.